everyone, today we are going to be doing a glassy skin depuffing skin tools and makeup routine. So 3 steps to get you looking super fresh, glowy. No matter how you're feeling, you are going to look juicy, plump, lifted. I don't care if you've just broken up with your boyfriend and you've got puffy eyes, or if like me you've just been really sick. You're going to look fresh. Whatever you've got to turn up to, you're going to look amazing. I won't ramble about it too much in this video, but I have been really sick. I have talked about it on Instagram. If you don't follow me over there, you might not have seen the update. But yeah, I was really sick. I was in hospital a couple of weeks ago. I've had serious swelling and puffiness, and a lot of people are commenting saying I've filled my face up too much with filler. It's medication. Thanks though. Thanks for pointing that out. I've been really sick, and my skin, my whole body, just everything shut down. Thankfully, I'm on the mend, and doing little skincare, self-care days like this really have helped my face and skin bounce back. You probably can notice that my face is like rounder than normal. That is due to medication. I had a lot of severe systemic responses from the flare-up of my chronic illness as well. So I had actually lymph nodes sticking out on my neck like Frankenstein, like it was a full-blown thing. So using tools like I'm going to show you today, using masks and products, really helped to get rid of that like excess puffiness in my face. Even if you don't have a chronic illness, like if you've been crying, if you're just feeling puffy, if you've been eating a lot of salt, whatever it is, I feel like we don't always focus enough on massaging the skin, all of that, you know, facialist stuff. We're always looking for perfect base and perfect skin and glass skin, but all of that comes from what you do to your skin. So we're going to start off with a mask. I'm going to show you a couple of tools that I use for depuffing the face, and then I'm going to show you this makeup look. It's a very simple look, but it's my favorite look right now, and so many of you have asked me about it on Instagram when I showed you a little preview the other day when I was off to the gym. So yeah, without further delay, let's get into it. I'm silent for the masking part, so I'm going to talk you through that now, through the medium and wonder that is editing, but then I will chat you through the makeup tutorial, chatty face to face. Did that make sense? I think so. So I just started off by hopping in the shower, cleansing my skin with my Neutrogena cleansing oil, and now moving on to the masking and stuff. I'm using the Aceology Rose Petal Modelling Mask. Modelling masks is quite new to me, but I'm really enjoying these Aceology ones because I think when I originally thought about modelling masks, I thought about it being just too messy and something that would be dripping all over the place. But actually these dry so quickly and they just sit on your face like a sheet mask that it's not much bother at all. And I find them to be way more juicily hydrating than just a sheet mask or something like that. I feel like they really infuse the skin with so much more juiciness and all the ingredients. It's a very calming mask, and it leaves your skin really dewy and stress-free, which is what I need when I'm going through chronic illness flare-up. I'm very sensitive. My skin reddens very easily, which you might see in a few minutes. When I touch it, my skin just goes red. And this kind of mask is nourishing, hydrating, calming, all of the things at once, and it's also helping with the possibility of breakouts, which I can be quite prone to because my immune system has just hit the floor. So to keep me really bouncy and juicy, this mask is where it's at. So what you do is you just pop sachet 1 and sachet 2 into a little bowl, mix it around for 1 whole minute, and then start applying to your face. And then you leave it on for 30 to 40 minutes while you're, I don't know, just watching Netflix or the new Shane Dawson series, or just hanging out with your cat, do whatever you want. And you just leave it on there. And then eventually when you go to peel it off, it just comes off like the way that a sheet mask does, all in one basically. And it's really satisfying. I love peeling masks off my face. Like, it's just, there's something just so satisfying about like peeling something off. So you can see here that my skin looks really, really juicy. There is so much more life and bounce to it now. And after sitting in that, my skin just like looks alive. And what you can do then as well is massage in the excess serum, either with your hands or with a tool. So I decided to use the Gua Sha today. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not quite sure. So this is a rose quartz facial tool, and to be honest, when all of this rose quartz tool, you know, hullabaloo started, I was really skeptical about it all. But after seeing some befores and afters online and doing a bit more research, there is definitely results behind some of the tools. You can get like really cheap, terrible tools, but when you get a proper one, it really can help you give that like lifting, firming, facial kind of look at home. I do have that excess serum left on from the mask, but I would like to just make sure that my skin has a lot of glide for the tool. So I applied some facial spray and a little bit of oil, and that just helps the tool to really slide across the skin. So with the Gua Sha, this is rose quartz, and you use this to lift the face and to enhance your routine after masking. So it's helping with firming the skin, smoothing the skin, and it really helps with sculpting the features, lifting the skin, lifting the lines, tightening up, you know, the jawline areas, the smile lines. I genuinely was so skeptical about this tool. I was just like, nah bro, this isn't gonna work, and it actually does. So if you're looking to get into the quartz tool kind of realm, that's definitely a really good option. When it comes to depuffing the face and cooling the face, this is definitely best when used straight out of the fridge. Yes, I have a section of my fridge where I keep skin stuff. Put it in the fridge, and telling you, it's life-changing. Life-changing. So now normally you'd only use maybe one tool if you're giving yourself a bit of an at-home facial, but I really wanted to help with the lymphatic drainage in my face and just try and get down some of the puffiness, the redness. My eyes are really tired as well, and I've just been through it, guys. It's been an absolute mad few weeks. So I'm also going to use the Ice Globe facial massagers from Aceology. So when I was younger, I was definitely a fan of the whole putting the teaspoons in the fridge thing and then putting them under your eyes, but they warm up in seconds. Think of this as 2 giant teaspoons that stay cold for ages. So I pop them in the fridge and then I take them out when I'm going to do the rest of my routine. I'm going to do a little bit more oil and also my moisturizer now, just to keep the slip in the skin. I'm going for all of the emollient products today. Juicy, juicy, juicy. So take them out of the fridge, and then I'm going to use them to calm down the puffiness and kind of like tenderness of my eyes, roll them across my eyes. I'm going to roll them underneath my eyes. If you've been crying, like if you are going through a bit of something, breakup, whatever it is, these are incredible for depuffing the eyes. When you do the spoons in the freezer kind of thing, they just don't stay cold long enough, whereas these stay cool for ages, and the size of them as well takes over your whole eye area, and you can just roll them gently back and forth and it feels amazing. My flatmate actually had her wisdom teeth out the other day and she was using them on her jawbone. So if you have any like pain here, it can help with like cooling and soothing as well, depuffing, if you clench your jaw, stuff like that, really help. But it's also just really cooling and relaxing to use to continue the rest of my skincare routine. So I'm using that upwards on the face and on the neck in those really slow motions, kind of going about 5 times across each area. I really feel like when you combine those super hydrating masks and products and also some really good quality tools, you're bringing all of the blood to the top of the skin. You're getting down into the deeper layers of the skin. You're waking up the skin and lifting and radiating yourself. So before we even put on any makeup, we're already looking alive, well, and feeling better. And it's actually, the health benefits as well for me have been so good in trying to release those systemic responses from the swelling in my face and in my lymph nodes. Guys, if you'd seen my neck when I went into hospital, like it looked like Frankenstein lumps. It was crazy what the body does when it's just like shutting down. It is just wild. But anyway, I think that together has given me the most beautiful, juicy base, possible for a glass skin look. And now it's time for the makeup. I'm going to show you how to do my freshest faced everyday glass skin cream product base routine. So when I'm feeling puffy or dull, anything like that, this is what's going to make me look my most healthy, natural, glowy, just polished, put together, looking amazing. And I showed a couple of these products on Instagram the other day when I was just doing a quick gym makeup look. I used a bit less than what I'm going to use today, but so many of you asked about it, and the foundation and stick products and stuff. I keep them in this little bag, and this is Luna's yawning. She's back there and she's like, oh. I keep them in this little bag, and it's in my gym bag or my overnight bag when I stay in Ian's house. And they're all products where I can just throw together a really cute, quick look, whether I'm needing something for the shops or the gym or whatever. So let's get started. I'm going to use the Clarins Skin Illusion Natural Hydrating Foundation. This is one of the most beautiful foundations I've ever used. I was sent it really, really randomly. I'm just going to shake it up. I was sent it really, really random by the PR team for Clarins. Kind of threw it in my drawer, didn't really think about it, and then was looking for a hydrating foundation one day because my skin was feeling really dry. Popped this out and was like, whoa, the way it blended in, these are really annoying me, the way it blended in was so weird. It was like really smoothing and so effortless that I was kind of like, do I need to put my glasses on? Dude, look at these baby hairs. It was so smoothing and so effortless that I was a bit like, what's the catch? But no, it's just a really good foundation. This is the shade Vanilla. They just happened to send me one that suits me kind of mid-fake tan, or I can bronze it up a little bit with cream bronzer. Lately I've been veering a lot towards this one by Nude by Nature. This is soft, flat and dense, all the things. And it's just a brush that I tend to gravitate towards. I'll zoom you in for a second so you can see like how this blends in. So this is one of those foundations that you really don't have to put a lot of work into, which is I think what we're all looking for on that everyday on that everyday work kind of basis, errands basis, lunch basis. When we're not looking to do smoky eyes and all that, we just want to look fresh and like polished and put together. I hate foundations where I feel like I need specialized tools, like, you know, how do you explain it? Like, they go streaky if you don't use them with a certain tool. This one you could just throw it on with your fingers or with this brush that also works with the cheek products, and you're pretty much ready to go. So I think in terms of like realistic makeup, yeah, maybe that's the best way to explain it. This is a very realistic makeup to me. I feel like so many women in their real lives, not this Instagram or YouTube life that we all pretend to live, I guess. This is a foundation that would really suit so many women for work, mums, you know, brunching, anything. I know so many girls who would love this. So that's it there. My skin is looking really good at the moment, obviously, because I just put a lot of work into it, but you can build this up a bit more if your skin isn't as good. I've been really, really sick, and my skin has definitely not been as bright and glowy unless I've gone through like this full skin routine. So I only need a bit today, really sheared out, but you can build this up a bit more. And even though it is glowy, I feel like if you are an oily or combo skinned girl, that if you used the right, if you use the right powders and concealers for yourself that you know really help your makeup to work, this would work for you. So now I'm going to go in with two Nude Sticks products. This is, which one will I go in first? I'll go in with the Nudies Matte All Over Bronze Colour in the shade Sunkissed. One of my favourite products ever. You can use it on the eyes, lips, everything. It's just, Nude Sticks are just such a good brand. I don't know how I didn't get into them before, well, properly. I've used a few of them before, but not properly before this year. So this kind of bronzer is a cream bronzer, but it blends in really easy. It's not like super slippy, and it's got kind of like a red tinge to it. So it does give you a sun-kissed look. It's not like an orangey bronzer. I tend to put a little bit like up here as well. Kind of just places where I want to warm up the face. So you'll see this just disappears. It looks like a healthy sun kiss. And then brought down onto the cheek, like the sun has kissed the top of the cheeks, and you're just looking really radiant and glowing. Whether you feel it on the inside or not, people are going to think it on the outside, which is my life. If I had a book, that's what it'd be called. Radiant on the outside, radiant on the outside, even if you're not feeling it on the inside. You can see there it all melds together really seamlessly. No lines. It looks like skin. We don't want lines. So then literally I use this on the eye as well. I'm just blobbing that in, kind of creating like shade and light on the face, like healthy glowy shade and light, but nothing really starts or stops anywhere. It all kind of just blends in together. And if you're going for a sun-kissed look, you are going to like bring it kind of like this across the nose, I feel, as well. Now I'm going to use the Nudies Bloom All Over Dewy colour, which is a cream blush from Nude Sticks. This is the Sweet Peach Peony, and it's just a really pretty cream blush. Again, it's like an all over kind of thing. Some people use it on the eyes and lips too. I'm just going to use it on the cheeks. Just kind of do a little X there. That's about it. And then just stamping. And when I stamp, I kind of like flick. So I'm not just stamping, it's like stamp, pull, stamp, pull, stamp, pull, stamp, pull. Does that even make sense? Like, can I show like stamp, pull? Yeah, that makes sense. I find that this really helps with my blending. I know that this is going to look a bit strange here, but we are going to go in with concealer now in a minute to make everything all nice and natural looking. So just stamping that. It's just adding that kind of like healthy glow. If you've any, that was a bit too much product there, I'm just taking it off in the back of my hand and bringing it across the nose and stamping and pulling that. My hair looks wild. I should have done something with it. Just keeping it quite high on the cheek as well. We don't want to go too low because then it drags down the face. And even with the blush, blending kind of up across the brow and eye. No lines. It's skin. I'm not even wearing any makeup. What are you talking about? So then I'm going to do concealer because I feel like concealing afterwards helps me to not go overboard on concealer, because that is one of my biggest, baddest habits of all time. But also it helps me to clean up anywhere where maybe the blush has gone a bit high. So concealer wise, I've usually had in my bag lately the Fenty, what's it called? Pro Filter Concealer, or the Tarte Shape Tape. Shape Tape could be a bit drying on you if you're a drier girl, but if you've used as much emollient product as me, you'll be grand. Lately, all I've been doing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I have any spots or anything, usually I get like some redness here, or I might have a spot here. I don't know how my skin is this good right now. I was so sick the last few weeks and I looked like dusty and ashy and horrible, and just really like focusing in on my skincare and doing lots of masks and hydrating has just brought me back to life. I just feel like my skin is miracleized in comparison to like how my actual body was functioning. They don't match up, and God, I'm so glad for skincare. Anywhere else, today I think I will do a little bit there, and that's all we need. You can go in and blend that with the brush or a beauty blender. For under the eyes, I'm going to use a beauty blender. This is actually the Nikia Joy Cosmetic Sponge. It's quite big and it's very bouncy, This is my favorite texture sponge apart from the Fenty one. So even over like the actual original Beauty Blender or any of those type of sponges, Nikki's one is my favorite for sure. It's the one that I would reach for. It's got like a flat side and a domey side. This isn't because she's my friend. Genuinely the nicest kind of like bounce to sponge ratio, size, shaping. The Fenty one, actually that's not the Fenty one there. There's a Fenty one that has like the slant and it's also got like a flat top. That's my other favorite. They're very similar bounce, softness, not too hard, not too soft, don't soak up too much product, yada yada yada. So definitely the only sponge that I would buy at the moment would be this or the Fenty one. So I need a smaller mirror. Where is it? I can't find anything today. Uno momento. Probably let that dry a bit too long because I was talking. You don't want to let Tarte Shape Tape dry too much because you'll end up with like dry spots of concealer. So I'm going to have to work that in with my fingers a little bit, I think. But yeah, fingers works as well, just to really get the product looking like skin. Skin is definitely our focus here. It's just a little bit too dried in for the blender because I was searching for that mirror like an idiot. I'm going to powder my under eyes. I prefer how it looks without when the makeup is just done. But if I want my makeup to last, I need to set it, deal with it being a little bit matte for a few hours, or like an hour, and then when my natural oils come through and the concealer starts to come through the powder, it'll look the way that I want. So I set my makeup in a way that it's not exactly the most desirable finish that I want, but I know in a couple of hours my makeup will look the way that I want. Speaking, it's difficult. So we're actually going in with the Nikkia Dry Cosmetics powder as well. This is insane. Again, not because she's my friend. No, I don't care how much I love you. I'm not going to promote products if they're not good. This powder is legit. I genuinely like had a moment where I was texting her after trying it for a week and was like, dude, what did you do with this formula? And I think what is really different is that she triple milled it. It is so fine, so soft. It smells like cake. I'm not usually a fan of like smelly products, but this is nice. It's just subtle. But there's just something about this powder that sets without being cakey, without clumping up. I've always had big problems with like creasy under eyes or under eyes looking too dry or powdery, and like, yes, my makeup style has changed a bit, but I don't know, this powder is definitely different. Before I got this one, it was the Hourglass powder, Charlotte Tilbury. Those were kind of like two of the ones I was reaching for most, and now I'm definitely reaching for this over them. So if that gives you like the kind of comparison level of powder that you need, she's done a really good job. I'm so proud of her. She really puts a lot of work into her cosmetics. I'm going to throw a bit of MAC Groundwork Pro Longwear Pot Paint on my eye. I just used my finger. It got a bit dried up, so I put in some facial oil. I actually put in the Pixie oil. So I'm just going to tap that across my eye. This is like a cool toned eye base that gives coverage. I've got quite a lot of like freckles and stuff. So it gives coverage and like shape to the eye, but doesn't kind of like look like you've got anything there. Covers up some of the veins and stuff, makes it look like there's a bit of contour and shape to the eye, but nothing too mad. I can see a lot of you already shaking your head at the screen going, but Michelle, it's not glass skin anymore. You've mattified yourself. Trust me, the natural oils will come back through and it will regain the look that it had originally. But to help in the process as well, this highlighter is really pretty. This is the Frank Body Illuminator. That's it. The Frank Body Illuminator. It's a really pretty cream highlight and really pretty for everyday use over cream products, but I feel like I can put it near where I've had Nikkia's powder because her powder is so fine. So just on the finger, no brushes, fingers around here. We're just gonna apply it in a little C shape up onto the brow bone. Yeah, just a little C shape here. And then trusty one brush. That's going to help us merge things back in. A little bit on the center of the nose, not the tip. I don't think that looks right on me, but you do you, obviously. Like, this is just me showing you what I do. Pretty. Like, see now. I know all of you that were shaking your head, being like, Michelle, where's the matte? Or where's the shiny gone? You can see now, like, I do want my skin to still look glassy and shiny, but we also have to sacrifice the shine for a couple of hours because we want to set the makeup. I'm going to throw on a really fluffy kind of soap brow, but I'm going to put that in another video because I just think it's going to take up too much of this video and we're more skin focused today. So you will get the brow, just not in this video. I am back with a brow and a slightly less nutty Professor bun because I just couldn't stop laughing at myself. Still not the most sane bun, but there we go. I think I used this lip stuff in my last video as well, or one of my last videos. The Burberry Velvet Lip Touch. It's like a stain kind of product. I love this colour. Ian actually always comments when I wear this colour. He's like, I like your lipstick today, babe. It's kind of like Velvet Teddy from MAC, but in a stain. If you like Velvet Teddy, you'll really like this. This is the shade Cinnamon number 25. I use this on my cheeks too a lot of the time when I'm doing like what I did with the nude sticks, if I'm very limited on what product I have. I put out too much. It's so hard to talk and do lips. To even up the lip line, I'd grab something like MAC Boldly Bare or Subculture lip liners and just kind of like give a little bit of definition. I'll always have some form of balm on hand. I love lip balms. I have to always have like a lip balm and a liner in my handbag. It's like a staple thing. And the Laneige one I've mentioned before. This is a lip sleeping mask, but I just use it all the time. Karima brought me one back from overseas like 2-3 years ago. It was a vanilla one. I remember it well. I fell in love and I used that all up. And since then I've had 3 or 4 tubes. I've had a selection of minis actually sent to me from Sephora, and that's how I found this flavour. This is watermelon, I think. Definitely rated over a lot of the super expensive lip balms as well. Now I'm just going to throw on mascara. Nobody wants to see that. This is the Hourglass Caution Mascara, which is really good for thickening, lengthening, and not being too smudgy all at the same time, whilst also not being too waterproofy either. Ticking all the boxes. I'm just going to put that on. This one is drying up a little bit, so I need to get a new one. She's not quite as fluffy. She's getting a little bit clumpier than normal, but she's still good. I just need to pick up a new mascara. And that, my friends, is the finished look. Did a bit of bottom mascara. Don't normally do that these days, but I felt like it today. I think this look is going to be so achievable, doable, and flattering on so many of you. It's boring in terms of like what people consider to be artistry on YouTube, but this is real life, realistic makeup for me, and I've been so sick, and some days just having this routine that I can whack together in 10 minutes, like I was chatting away to you guys, but this for me is like quick makeup. This makes me feel fresh and alive, and I don't always want people to know that I'm sick. I don't always want people to be like, oh, she's looking a bit rough. Like, this is how I turn up on days when I'm not feeling my best. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you to Astrology for sponsoring this video. Definitely worth checking out if you want to look at some masks, some facial tools. I feel like skincare is so underrated still when people are talking about base. Your base is only going to ever be as good as you look after your skin. So take good care of your skin and your makeup will look amazing. I will talk to you guys again really, really soon.